Well, there you are again. Charlie Greer podcast again. Duh, I do this every day. Today, we're talking about the follow through. The follow through. Isn't that what everything in life is about? The follow through. Just keep doing it till you succeed. Never stop. Follow through. I think the first time I had to deal with this was when I was like a kid, like learning to draw. Like, I love art. I want to draw. So first, you're horrible. I mean, your parents and your grandparents. Oh my God, this is great. What is this? It's you, Grandma. Pardon me. The follow through. Then I figured stuff out on my own. Like, wait a minute. I thought I'd discovered something like tracing. If I just trace, I could put the paper over and then. If I hadn't been following through, I wouldn't have unlocked that knowledge. That's another thing. Supposedly, something about scientists are saying today that you don't learn anything. It's unlocked. You already know. Is that true? So with that being said, so that means you need to follow through. You need to do it till you can unlock that knowledge. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I think half and half. You learn, then it unlocks. Maybe that's what they were talking about. Because when you're doing something, and all of a sudden, and bam, you got it. Like a new phone or what. You barely know what's going on in a day or two. You're, modding it out. So yeah, follow through. I discovered with my art, just keep on doing it, and people around me, you got to keep on it, go on. And then anything, baseball, soccer, whatever, play football, whatever. You just got to keep doing it, having enough, in your mind to be. And people are going like, yeah, right, we know this, duh. But I think we need a little touch up on it. I know it looks like I'm stoned. I'm not. I'm completely sober. I have eye problems. Believe it or not, I'm completely sober. I'm having a smoke and some cigarettes, but hadn't had a beer, ain't smoked no weed, none of that. It's what my time, 7:11 in the morning, the AM. I get up and do these early, man. I get to follow through. I'm now a morning person, but I have to, get up, do my stuff with my dogs, shower, get out of the shower, boom. That's when I have the most energy. I thought my podcast was going to be a nighttime podcast, and it might be. I might do 2 a day, just depending. Might do a morning and a night. Hey, you never know. You never know. But anything I've ever done, I've had the wherewithal to be like, hey, I got to keep doing this. Yeah, right now I'm horrible, but I'll just get better. With my podcast, that's what I'm doing right now. Same theory. I've done, I think, over 80 of these. I haven't got any views. Still going to do it. Why? Because I like doing it. And it's like therapy to me. And, hey, why not? But follow through. Keep doing it. I'm doing them every day. I think I've skipped out of the 8. I think I've skipped 1 or 2. And that's when I was sick. I just couldn't do it. I was in bed. That pays off with anything I've ever done. Just do it, go, do. And a friend of mine's like, hey, you're getting better at your podcast. Hey, cool. Again, I got to get better equipment, my lighting, fix my window behind me. Again, I could hide that. I have a blind, but the blind, when you pull it, it kind of broke, and I don't want to do. So I just take the whole thing off to get light in. This is a dark apartment. Then I got this horrible light here, and I'm blinded by light. I have like light blind. I have photophobia. So it might stay dark. I don't know. Depending on the pain I'm in, because it gives you pain. People don't tell people about photophobia. It's painful. Your eyes send pain to your brain, and that clenches up your neck and back. But the follow through, in my case, a lot of times when you're following through, people are making fun of you. And what's that saying? Like first they make fun, then they accept you, and then they want to be like you. Kinda. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Just keep whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do. This is kind of an inspirational podcast today. Yesterday I ranted and raved about the Melvins, and hey, God bless them, But the follow through. Everybody, oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do that for? You can't do that. Well, I'm doing it. When I wanted to play guitar, when I wanted to be in a band. Well, that's the same. Even people around you. Another thing, sometimes people closest to you will hurt your feelings the most. Just because you're emotionally involved, they're not trying. Sometimes they're just trying to make themselves laugh or say something off the cuff. You gotta get your alligator skin on. You think it's other people. It's the people around you, people that love you, that will crush your feelings. Gotta have some foresight, some wherewithal. I hate to say it, but get her done kind of thing. And I'm sorry for that. But yeah, even with my band, like, I wanted to be in a band. I'm in Tennessee, small town, like an hour outside of Nashville. And we're all in a rock and roll, but the industry that we were around there, it's gone, it's just country, you know. And I hate to admit, I like certain country, but most of the country I just couldn't take. I was just like, no, man, I want to rock, So this is how silly the world is. Sometimes how it happens. So I'm the one that first got a guitar. I had a friend. He wants to play guitar, so he'd come over and I would teach him what I knew. And we'd take turns on my guitar, my little amp, doing that all summer long, whatever. Then he's like, hey, mowing lawns or whatever he was doing, or his parents, he got a guitar. And he was dedicated, man. I mean, next thing you know, he's better than me. But I was also wanting to sing. I was working on my singing and my guitar playing. I kind of knew that I was going to sing and play guitar. He just wanted to play guitar. So here he goes. He got better than me. Then he gets in a band. Or joins a band. I forgot what happened. Anyway, then they ask me because and then but we need a bass player. What the bass? Oh yeah, it's just 4-string. I kind of knew. It's the first 4 strings. You'll get it. I don't have a bass. Well, here's one. I borrowed some kind of Tiasco or some shit. I was always knocking the strings off the bridge. In the middle of it, put it back on there, out of tune. Who cares? It's fun. Then that band broke up. He went into another band. I just kept doing what I was doing. Again, singing, learning how to sing, finding any kind of thing about, there's got to be techniques like breathing. I realized you have to breathe, don't scream, Then I'm, again, following through, getting bands and getting better. I've always been able, I've been always open about, I'll teach somebody if they ask me. And this is the great thing about your art or whatever you want to do. You don't have to be the best. Hell, I'm not that good. I mean, but I do what I do. I like what I do. That, that knowledge, me knowing that I'm not the best, is my genius in a weird way. Like, hey, I just do what I do. You figure out, like, you want to be, don't lie to yourself. Like, okay, this is what my limits are. I'll just perfect that. I'll be the best at that. That's what I've always done. Like, yeah, we always want to do better and this, that, and the other. But then again, it's like, and again, you reinvent yourself. But you got to realize that just follow through, steady course, do what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing. Everything else will come along. Everything else will just go, hey, what do you mean? Again, with my podcast, I've done over 80 of these. I got to think, man, I haven't told anybody I've got a pod. I mean, I put it on my Facebook, but I don't go around, hey, I've got that. No, I just post it. And where I'm at now, I'm in this small town. There aren't any creative people around. I went to another town, bigger town, and did some shopping and stuff. And I was talking to them, told them, and I told another, but I haven't been promoted again. That's what I should be doing. I should be following through with my promotion, but hey. Got to do what you got to do. Back with my art, I studied art at Parkland College. I studied art and theater at Parkland College in Champaign, Illinois, and you learn art history. Wow, that's another thing. We had a test, and it was like all these pictures of the art, and you had to like name the artist in the painting. There was like 40 of them. That was like I think our last our semester. It was tough. Art history. People like, oh, art. Hey, art history. But I already know, pardon me. But like, say when I wanted to crack that nut of like LA art scene, man, that's tough nut to crack. Okay, that's as tough. That's as douchey as it gets. I mean, you think the music, the art world? Whoa, you gotta. So I did little art shows, but my first official was in NoHo at the NoHo Art Gallery, on Lancashire. It was a group show, and I ended up doing well, So I did those for a while, just the NoHo art shows. And then from there, you meet other artists. Hey, I did it. And so a lot of artists will curate too. I did the same. I ended up doing the same thing, curating shows. And then when I wanted to do the Cannibal Flower, which is like a monthly cool, group show, they rent different galleries. It's huge. And just to get in a Cannibal Flower at the time was tough because it was like the thing to do. So it's like, you submit your art, and then finally get accepted. And then you start doing them monthly. Man, I probably did them for like a year before I was even on the flyer, the poster, like your name. And then it took me a while. Then I was one of the featured guys, or girls. And by then, people, photographers are there. Hey, taking your picture. I mean, again, it goes from like 0 to like 1,000. You just got to keep on pushing, push. I met friends. I met this, that, and the other. I met everybody. Then one of the Cannibal Flowers was at this big gallery, and then I clicked with the owner. He was more of a rock and roll dude, and hey, we'll help you out. All right. Did I do that? You got to follow through, man. Follow through. Like, think like a farmer. That seed's gonna grow the big tomatoes. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to water it in. And sometimes life kicks you in the gut. Like, was it last summer? I think it was last summer. I was in LA. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grow some tomatoes. So I went and got all the stuff, the soil, and this, that, and the other. And I put some in the ground. I put some in pots. I had like a backyard full of tomatoes. And then I, water them every day. And of course, you go to war with like caterpillars or worms. I don't even know what, bugs, squirrels. It's like 3 months of everyday water. And then that I go, you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna pick them. Go out there the next day, and it looked like a horror movie, man. There was like smashed tomatoes everywhere, like every one of them, or bites. Those squirrels got a couple bites. Didn't get one tomato. 3 months of work. I never tasted one of my tomatoes. I had to like clean up all this. I had, But you know what? I learned from that. Like, hey, maybe I should, never grow tomatoes in LA again. That's what so sometimes you are gonna, again, it isn't all like rainbows and lollipops, man. It's life. You're gonna, there's gonna be some bumps in the road. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Follow through. Don't second guess. Just do, go, do it. Everything I've done, my book, it's weird how things are, man. I had a guy making a website for me, and I would have to pay him to update it for my gigs or whatever. And he was like, "Look, he was busy, and he was like, he was making more. He was doing it as like a friend thing, kind of like, look, man, I really don't have time to update your website. It's not worth the money. So, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna I'm gonna do where you click on the button, it'll spawn another window from your site, and then you're gonna have to, get a profile, password, and then you can post there and it'll be on your site or spawn that other whatever. What I didn't know, it was diary.org or something. Okay. So I just started posting my stuff. Again, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was, it was on my way. Hey, but it was on this diary.org. It would spawn this other window at another site. So after a while, I just started ranting like a madman, just telling my story, hey, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And then someone contacted me like, oh my God, you made it in the top 10 on the front page of diary.org. What? What diary? What are you talking about? I don't got a diary. Yeah, you do. You're my favorite. Your writings are like a warm blanket. Warm blanket. Here, look at this. What? Like, and I had all these views and people would comment. I'd never replied to a comment because I didn't know, I was. So one of them was an editor at like a publishing company. And she's like, look, I will, what do they have to do? They have to add something, make it correct, like in book form, whatever it is. I'll do it for free. All right, go. I'll put it together. Like I'll put them all together like it's a book. And then I'll send you that. I was like, oh, wow. She's like, look, I love this. I'll help you. I'll solicit you. You should name it. So I named it Rant of the Madman. I was like, hey, I'm ranting like a madman. And you can get this book. Go get Charlie Greer, Rant of the Madman. Go to Amazon. You'll find it. Read it for free online. They don't pay me. So then she solicited me, but they didn't, so I ended up using a self-publisher, like a co-op deal. Like, hey, you pay for this, we'll pay for that. And bam. And then I got into book mode. I was like doing art shows and gigs and promote my book, doing, little book signings here and there. And then they got bigger and I get group signings and meeting people. Again, sometimes what? I wasn't thinking about writing a book. I'm not an author. But now I own the movie rights. Turns out I own the movie rights to my book, and I've solicited that a couple of times. I damn near got close to optioning that. It's a strange, mysterious world. Follow through. Sometimes, these little, I don't even know if that's a mistake. It's just like things happen. Shit. I don't know. But it will, and again, it is frustrating when you see people. Again, I'm all for nepotism if I'm involved. But yeah, you'll see people that, I mean, again, they're born in like an entertainment industry, whatever it is, and they've been yeah, they're going to get more opportunity. They know a little bit more than you. It's frustrating, especially the ones that don't have talent, and you're just okay. But again, I've always kind of just like went by them. Next thing you know, it might take a while, and I'm not even trying. It's just that you do, again, the follow through, do what you're going to do. Who cares? Another thing, most of the stuff I've ever did, it wasn't my friends that were like my Uber fans. Yeah, your friends support you, they bust your balls or whatever, but it's other people. You get fans and you end up being friends. You know what I mean? Like that happens. Don't concentrate on, don't concentrate on certain things. Yeah, at first with my bands, no one's at the gig. There's 10 people, and most of them work at the club, and then everybody's girlfriend or something. I mean, you're playing in front of nobody. And those gigs are brutal. Empty floor, everybody's at the bar. There's nobody there. That went on for damn near a year, maybe. And then next thing you know, bam, it's just people all want on the guest list, and it's packed. And of course, most of you going, yeah, dumbass, we already know this. But hey, I got a podcast to do every day. I need stuff to talk about. And I'm waiting for, like this morning, I forgot to look at my list. See, I write stuff down. I have friends write stuff down. Like, what should I talk about? I got lists to do. But this morning, I just forgot. And sometimes, like this morning, as I don't even know what again, I riff. I'm like a blues or a jazz music. I'm just, just going. I'm not plotting anything out. Why? Because that I react better with it. If if I'm acting like some kind of actor that would memorizing his lines, say that's fine for everybody else, and have your screens at this, that's great. I know I'm just staring into a camera. I'm the only one. Hey, I watch these podcasts. They never look at the camera. They got like a side view. Hey, maybe I will too someday. But for now, this is what I'm doing. And again, I'm not getting any views, man. No love. But self-love from me, because I like what I'm doing. I've been planning on doing this for a long time, and I thought, should I go out and film Hollywood Boulevard? I was going to do a Hollywood Boulevard like today on Hollywood, like every day be down on Hollywood Boulevard, just because there's so many people and tourists. And what's your name? And that's easy pickings to. But then there's fights break out, people rob, especially now. I mean, dude, that shit. And then I got to meet podcasters. I was on Adam the Woo's live podcast. Maybe a couple. And I would talk. I like Adam. And at the time, I was a carnival barker. Basically, I was like on the mic salesman. Hey, which is tough. I mean, it looks easy. Oh, I can do that. No, you can't. On a busy like holiday weekend, Saturday, Hollywood Boulevard, I had a counter above me, a camera and a counter. And in 5 hours, 21,000 people I greeted and talked. 21,000. That's a busy day, man. You're just like, oh, that's even. And my thing was, where are you from? I'm from, okay, we party, just getting them going. And doing well. Within no time, I was like training other salesmen on the microphone. I don't even know if that job exists because of COVID and the restrictions. I wonder what's going on with that. But again, to follow through, I needed to, and the first day when I showed up, the owner, like I go in, yeah, and he's on the mic. Oh, he's over there. He's on the mic. Hey, how you doing? Okay. Okay. So he just literally hands me like, okay, go. What should I say? Well, everything's $5. There's a thing you should read and just riff, just see, make it, I'll take it away. So I started doing my thing. In fact, I walked away from him with just like, hey, wandering. He's like, oh, no, you should stay in this area. But you know what? Dude, grown. Because you're doing well. He went and checked the set. What are we doing? Oh, man, he's doing good. That's the only reason people like me, because I was called the AT, the average transaction of what the person that everybody goes through the cash register line. What's their average? You got to keep it at a certain, like $23, $24, $27. Everybody was the average. Some are more, some are like, yeah. And I did like my interview. I was on the microphone for like the first day. Like nobody does. That's that. The next thing you know, man, come back tomorrow. And then they hired me. Another reason I was good is I would wear the merch. Nobody, because everybody's in Hollywood. They don't want, in fact, they don't want to be seen or act like they have a job. Like, oh no, I'm talented. I don't have a job. Yeah, you got a job. And they sold these chintzy T-shirts for $5, hats $5, everything was $5, glasses. And I go, dude, can I just wear some? Dude, I pay whatever they're paying for it, sell it for $5. Like dude, every shift you can. So I'd put on like the stupidest shirt, the dumbest sunglasses, a flowered hat that said LA or something, and just get in there and then people would ask me, other says, how are you doing this? I wear this merch. You can see how stupid I look with greens and purples and all this horse shit. Oh, I'm going to do that, man. They'd be in their leather jet. They look cool, But they, I mean, it's like, you got to relate to these tourists, man. These people that are coming to the store aren't these highbrow LA arty. No, we're talking about, some dude from wherever. You got to relate. I also told them about we can't have certain music going on. It kills the sales. And what we figured out was like oldies, like I'm talking about real old, like from the 50s or whatever. We did the best when we were listening to this, like, because people could think if it's too dun, 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 dun. Sometimes you need that. There's time and place for everything. So when we're like pushing a sale, it's going to win in 10 minutes. You need that jigga, 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 jigga. But most of the time when people are shopping, hey, poor little fool. Oh yeah, like it's oldies. We figured out, wow, that it works. Throw on the oldies. And that's what we did. Follow through. Keep doing stuff. You'll figure it out. It'll come to you. Rome wasn't built in a day, man. You just got to keep do. Check along. Check it. With everything. With dating. I remember back in the day, I saw the band Poison, like the glam band, which I love. The first guy was awesome. I saw an interview way back in the day, like the mid 80s, where I think it was a singer. It's like, hey, you know what you do? If you girls, you just only hit on the girl. Don't lower your stand. Hit on the girls you like. Hit on your type. You like blonde, brunettes, whatever. And 99, say if you hit on 100 girls, 99 of them are going to walk away or do whatever. But that one, I learned, I was like 10 years, like, oh, maybe that's right. Well, see, that's what I tried it. It works. Yeah, you get turned out. Rejection from that's another thing about anybody that does anything. They're lying to you unless they're like a nepotist or juice, whatever. You're going to get rejected. Anything you want to do, a job, everything. Just keep doing it. You will succeed. What is it? Dream on, Steven Tyler, Aerosmith. Dream until your dream comes true. Dream until your dream comes true. Yeah, he's exactly right. And also you can use like the law of attraction and mirroring people. There's things you can do. Like my grandma said, birds of feathers stick together. That's the same thing. It's a kind of Hindu knowledge. Hillbillies know this shit. It's the same principle. Keep doing it. Don't think you do something once and you're just going to, maybe, but the odds are that you will have to keep doing it. Pardon me. Yeah. It's a drag. That's why you got to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't like it and you're just doing it to get somewhere to do some kind of, it might not happen for you, unfortunately. But follow through. Again, I do this every day, about a half an hour. But I got to run. I got to walk my dogs and get to my day. I love y'all. There's nobody left. Be blessed. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.